am here to represent all the Sikhs at UC Berkeley who could not make it here. This bill will not only further educate our broader society to who the Sikh people are and the struggles that we have endured, but also allow us an opportunity to explore the Sikh genocide in the curriculum here at UC Berkeley, because we want to make sure that people are educated about it, educated about the fact that 5,000 Sikhs have died in India, and as a member of the community, I find it very critical that this bill does get passed. My own father was affected by this. My own mother's family was affected by this. And I know many of the Sikhs at campus, as well as across California, have been affected by this. So I urge you guys to support yes on this bill. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is David McClary. I'm a graduate student at UC Berkeley in molecular and cell biology. I am Northern Vice President of UAW Local 2865, the Student Workers Union on campus. I'm also a member of Jewish Voice for Peace and Students for Justice in Palestine. I am here today to speak in favor of the anti-Islamophobia bill that you'll all be considering, and specifically to voice my support for about previously attacked Muslim and black students on this campus. He once published an ad in the Daily Cal that basically implied that black Americans should be grateful for slavery. This is a man who has a record of inciting murders around the world. His work and the people that he funds were cited in the manifesto of Anders Behring Breivik, a mass murderer in Norway who killed 77 people. And he has now decided to put posters around campus calling myself and some of my friends Jew haters and associates of terrorists and supporters of genocide. I am a Jewish student myself. I was extremely offended to be called a Jew hater. My family is Jewish, my partner is Jewish, her family are Jewish. We have family in Israel. This is incredibly offensive, and these claims are without merit. And the school administration has done nothing to address these claims. They have taken down the posters, but they refuse to denounce the claims made against students as defamatory and without basis. And more concerning, they've refused to recognize SJP and MSA as legitimate student organizations, despite requests to do so. And their refusal to do so is very disturbing. And so in place of that, we would ask that the ASUC step in and defend students against these baseless and very dangerous attacks. Thank you.
Are there any other public comments? Okay.
Hi, my name is Mohit. I'm also speaking on behalf of Sikh Student Association supporting the bill. As a member of both the Berkeley and Sikh communities, I stand here today asking for the support of you, the elected ASUC Council, in passing a resolution recognizing a significant and devastating time for the Sikh community in India and around the world. As a strong believer in grassroots actions, I plead to you to understand the difficulties and devastation that our Punjabi and Sikh communities felt in 1984. The reverberations of which continue to plague our community to this day. As a university, we undeniably stand on the platform of the protection of human rights in every corner of the world. Therefore, it is with great passion that I ask you to sympathize with my Sikh brothers and sisters as we stand in opposition to a lack of accountability and respect and the utter violation of human rights. Vote yes, not only for my community, but also for those still waiting for justice and recognition. Thank you.
Are there any other public comments that need to be made? Great. Moving on to guest presentations. Any others?
Hi everyone, my name is Giovanni D'Ambrosio. I work in Mariam's office in the AVP. I bottom line the Raise Up Richmond campaign efforts. Additionally, I'm an organizer with the Student Labor Committee. I came in front of you on behalf of two Senate bills. First is the Justice for UC Workers Solidarity Organizing Bill. Two of our organizers, one Christian Kim and also John Pania, are being faced with atrocious charges for organizing on behalf of the insourcing campaign. While the campaign itself was successful in that 72 of the outsourced contracted out workers, were insourced last month, two of the head organizers, one Christian Kim, is being charged with 1 month to up to 3 years of suspension for organizing, and John Pania, for being tackled by police officers, is being charged with resisting arrest and other charges that the DA has consistently been changing. We're in the process of going to several labor unions and community organizations in asking that the charges be dropped, and would greatly appreciate the ASUC support. Lots of labor unions in particular have been very skeptical of our asking them to sign resolutions and getting the charges dropped because our own student body hasn't endorsed this. And then the second bill I'd like to speak on is the Raise Up Richmond, the Developer Accountability Bill. Currently, the Raise Up Richmond Coalition, which is made up of labor unions, several community organizations, and ASUC 3299, is asking for a ballot measure to prevent the campus from being built entirely if the chancellor does not sign the community benefits agreement. He recently stated that he will no longer be attending tomorrow's final community working group meeting, even though he promised, upon initially starting it, that he would sign a community benefits agreement by the end of April. He's now stated that he refuses to insource any of the labor at the new campus. And throughout the entire process, the Raise Up Richmond Coalition and the community at large their agency has been taken away. Like 30 seconds? Okay, cool. So the ballot accountability measure would prevent the campus from being built unless there's voter approval. So it's a way for the community themselves to have agency over whether or not they want Richmond, California to be gentrified, or and the only way at this point we have leverage to prevent the construction of the campus. Thank you.
Alright, moving on to guest presentations. First up, we have the Student Union Marketing and Arts team for 5 minutes and 5 minutes for questions.
Hello. So I'm Karina. I work in the marketing department for the Student Union, and I'm going to give the marketing update. So the marketing department is currently working on an outreach and day of deliverables for many events, including the CERT Gala on May 3rd, the Oscar Awards on May 4th, and De-Stress Fest on May 6th. So because there's so much going on, marketing is also hiring for 6 new positions, which includes for the art studio as well. And we will be conducting interviews next week. We're still looking for candidates for our production assistant position, which is a role that will help support our new creative lab. Speaking of creative lab, the retail operation 155 is now named the Creative Lab, which offers print and design services. It's a hybrid space offering classes in design, digital photography, hand lettering, illustration, and more. A full range of large format as well as large quality printing is available. There are some technical details that are still being worked out, such as making numerous payment options available, like using your Cal1 card and setting up a student org payment system. And we hope to open and be functioning within the summer session. So I'm now going to pass it off to Myla, who's going to give you the art update.
Hi everyone, my name is Myla Rodriguez and I am the copywriter for the marketing team at the Student Union. And I'm going to give some updates on the Berkeley Art Studio. So speaking of 155, our art studio will begin offering digital photography and design classes in the Creative Lab. There will be 6 classes in this place, plus a few additional workshops to be added in coming weeks. And our photography classes, digital photography classes, will start using Creative Lab next week to print their photographs for their final class critique, which is a great way and use of the hybrid print lab classroom space. This summer, registration for classes this summer is now open on our website, so if anyone's interested in taking a class, you can register on our website at artstudio.berkeley.edu. And the Art Studio looks forward to participating in the De-Stress event on Friday, May 6th, which Karina mentioned. Participants can take selfies, print them out, mount them, and then post them on the selfie wall, which is a temporarily art installation in the Student Union on the first floor of MLK. And then finally, a really cool social media achievement for the Art Studio is our Instagram page, which we started in February 2015. In the last 2 months, it has gained 200 plus followers, which is the biggest increase in followers, and now we have 717 followers, which is a pretty cool achievement for a brand new Instagram account. Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to innovative design, Nancy and Jordan, are they here?
Right. Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Jordan Saeed, and this is Lexi Zhang. We are the two active presidents of Innovative Design. We're outgoing, and we wanted to basically just come by and give you an update on what we've been doing for the last year. As many of you know, Innovative Design is a student-run creative agency within the ASUC that includes about 100 students every semester. And since we are funded and supported by the ASUC, we wanted to just let you know kind of what we've been up to as far as serving the community and how. So, Innovative Design is made up of 5 divisions of design through which we provide services and create community at Cal. Those are graphic design, photography, videography, web development, and product design. And so, as many of you are aware, Innovative Design is organized into tiers through which we group students together. We then produce products and design resources for groups that aren't able to do so internally. So we create a lot of marketing materials for groups that need these resources but aren't able to produce them just because not everyone knows how to take photos or make videos or websites and things like that. Yeah, so just reiterating that, we provide completely 100% free services to RSOs as graphic design, photography, and videography. Yeah.
Just to illustrate the fact that we've had over the past couple semesters at Cal, every semester we strive to provide as many student groups as possible with free services through the different facets that Jordan just touched upon. So as you can see from the board here, we've increased from serving 32 student groups in spring 2015 to this semester 55 student groups served. And to look at another number, we can see that in addition to serving increased number of student groups, we've also increased our service rate, which means that out of all the requests that we get, an overwhelming number of requests we get every semester, we're able to serve a larger and larger percentage of that over the past 3 semesters by increasing our operational capacity and increasing the size of our club. So we've increased our service rate from 39% to 71% this semester. Here's a brief list of some of the organizations we've worked with over the past year. Some of them you might recognize. Some of them are clubs that you guys might all be part of or have been involved with before.
Yeah. All right, moving on. So that's basically how Innovative Design works with clients, with RSOs, with parts of the ASUC like ourselves that we want to support with resources. Another big part of what Innovative Design is we provide community at Cal. We do now have the Jacob Institute for Design, but really what we've been doing ever since our inception is creating a space, both like a real space and a digital space for students to collaborate, to work together, and to learn together through creativity and design. So a few ways that we do that, we can illustrate here, is through our decal program. So innovative design offers several decals, and this semester we've offered more than ever. As many of you are probably aware, we have a very popular decal called Intro to Photoshop and Illustrator, which routinely gets about 300 applicants. We've increased the number of sections we offer for this decal to 4, and this whole semester we've been able to serve 240 students through that decal. We've also continued to teach our graphic design principles decal, which is upper level for students interested in product design and marketing, as well as started our photography principles decal to basically make us apply for the demand for photography education. Moving on from that, we also have public events. So something that we have is something called HEX workshops. So what HEX is it stands for Hone and Explore. And it's something we started just this last year. And it's what it is to get design education out of just innovative design. So a way that we've, as I've spoken about, gotten out into the community through service, through serving other RSOs. We wanted to get better at actually educating outside of the START Club. How can we, outside of our decal program, offer workshops and education to anyone who wants to, be they a Berkeley student outside of Berkeley, in the club, out of the club. And so what we did is we offered a workshop series. And this last semester we had 21 classes taught by innovative design members on everything from digital lettering to introduction to Photoshop and Illustrator to advanced photography techniques. So there's something really for everyone. And we served about 300 to 400 students this semester through these workshops, completely free of charge, and very accessible and inclusive. Moving on from that, we also do one big design event during a weekend every semester. In the spring, what that was for us was RGB, which stands for Reach, Grow, and Build. For us, that's a design education day. We bring in speakers from like product design industries to come in and talk about their experiences and get into their careers. So for example, someone we brought in is Meili Koo, the head product designer at Khan Academy. So as many of you are aware, Berkeley did just open up the Jacobs Center for Design Innovation. But even then, that's still not enough to satisfy the incredible demand for design education, the design career education at Cal. And it's something we've been about ever since our inception, is providing those connections. We brought in faculty speakers, or not faculty, I'm sorry, industry speakers, to talk about really like how they got started, what did they major in, how did they get into design, how did they end up in the careers that they're in now. And through this event, we served about 100 students. In our equivalent in the fall is a design-a-thon called CMYK. So this is personally like my favorite event that we do. It's just one day full of just like inclusive, very open, powerful making, where we invite about 100, well not invite, but we have tickets for about 100 designers to come in and get into teams. And they're given a prompt by a local business, and in about just 4 or 5 hours create incredible products that are like well designed, that are critiqued, that are incredible learning experiences. So these are some of the things that our participants are able to make after just 4 to 5 hours. They're critiqued by professionals, and they give out awards, and we really just able to create this space for designing and making that isn't offered on campus. Yeah.
To wrap this all up, the reason why we're here today is to both show you our progress and show what we've done, but also to moving forward, work more together with the ASUC to bring about more design education opportunities and serve more campus groups in the future. So if you are interested, I'd highly encourage you to go and check out the different websites we've created for each of our events to learn more about the details and the different types of people we've served and worked with in the past. Additionally, if you'd like to check out some of the client work, aka the work that we've done for RSOs in the past, you can feel free to go to makeberkeleybeautiful.com, which contains a really short snippet of our portfolio in both graphic design, video, photography, and web design. Thank you so much for your attention, and if you have any questions, we be reachable through email or right now. It's fine as well.
Any questions right now? Senator Wynn?
Thank you so much for coming. That was a really great presentation on this today. I was wondering, it really does. So I was wondering, out of all the student groups, how do you pick which ones that you serve? Or is it on the first
is served on a first come first serve basis, and also on how capable our teams are in helping the needs of that particular student group. So all of our teams are made up of students, so we don't hire professionals or anything like that. So if the project scope is too big or too difficult, they might get rejected just because we aren't really able to serve them to the level that they expect. But other than that, it's mostly on a first come first serve basis. And usually our requests are full about 2 weeks before the end of school, 2 to 3 weeks before end of school. So we get all the designers to have time to finish all the projects on hand. Yeah.
Are there any other questions? Thank you, David. Thank you. Next up, we have Meg for 5 minutes.
Hi everyone, my name is Shauna Singh, and together with these lovely people, we have been recently working very closely with the biology department as well as Virginia Duplessis from the Office of Sexual Assault Prevention and Student Advocacy in light of recent sexual harassment allegations and issues that have arisen on this university, as I'm sure most of you are well aware. Example, Diff Marcy, example, Dina Blanche, Chowdhury. So in light of this, we felt that as students, we had to do something to make a change. So we proposed that every syllabus on this campus include the campus's no tolerance policy for sexual harassment. So in addition to the campus's no tolerance thing, it's about time because we have the honor policy, the honor code on there. We have the fact that plagiarism isn't allowed. So we felt that sexual harassment, if it's such a internal law at the campus, should be on there as well. So this statement will have the zero tolerance policy on there. It will also state that even consensual relationships between faculty, GSIs, and students are actually not tolerated by this university. A lot of students aren't aware of this. I know I wasn't as a freshman, so this is really, really important, we feel. In addition, the syllabus statement will have resources for students who are going through something of this nature. So we really feel that everyone, including faculty, students, and GSIs, should be on the same page about this, which is why we felt it's so necessary to incorporate this into every syllabus. For the MCB department, which is the molecular and cellular biology department on this campus, this has already been approved. So for the MCB and IB departments, the syllabus, all syllabi will actually have the zero tolerance policy in there.
So I want to thank Senator Salinas for everything he's done. He's taken on this project as part of a platform last minute. I just came up with this like last week with my team right here. So thank you, Senator. And I also wanted to ask for continued support from any one of the next senators for the next generation, 2016-2017 year. What we really need, aside from mandating this statement in the syllabus, is a plan of response to such a situation in which a professor is accused of sexual harassment. And that's, let's face it, it could happen, you know, like this is something that we have to confront, and it's an immediate issue. It needs to happen. So is our department, is your department prepared to take action if our administration is not? Help us to develop a plan. It's going to be worth it for the PR, for the media, for increasing the reliability of Berkeley's rep and whatnot. So I'm going to hand it over to Courtney, but thank you so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Courtney. So I've done a lot of sexual violence work here, and I'm going to be working in the advocate's office next year. So I just wanted to emphasize that students' voices need to be heard and believed, so they feel like they have agency in situations with unfair power dynamics. So that's our primary motivation for wanting this in the syllabi of all campus departments. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Next up, Emily Baseman. Everyone's going to pull up a floor plan. MLK basement bill tonight, which has been tabled for quite a couple weeks, so I'm super excited for it to go through. I wanted to give you all an update on what's been going on, as well as a visual description of the latest floor plan that I just received a couple of days ago from the architects. So, if you go to the second page, Imran. Alright, so I know it's a little small, and it's color-coded, but I basically wanted to walk you through it. This is the space that will be built out in 2 years. What that means is groups will be able to move into this space starting latest January 2019. So it's in about 2 years. What you'll see on the top left is what we consider, or what we call, our wellness corridor. What the wellness corridor is going to be satellite counseling sessions and satellite counseling spaces for the team center to use. It's also going to be spaces for any of the residents going into the MLK basement to be able to reserve for any private conversations that need to be taken place. Pretty much for anything, it'll be having, and if you go up a little bit, so they can see it, yeah. So it's those 5 rooms on the top left. They will be soundproof, they will be wall high. And one of the things that we'll have to work on next year, or the next EVP will have to work on, is going to be those reservation policies that go into that. The top right over here is going to be the CERC space. It's about 1,300 square feet. Very, very exciting because they've been operating pretty much basically without a space for the most part. So TGIF director as well as CERC director will go in there. Will also be about 1,000 square feet of places for students to just work, have open collaborative areas as well as hold events. Next up, we have our student organization spaces. So that will go under SOS. The same process that student orgs currently go through with ASUC under AVP. It's going to add in, again, open space for students to use as well as cubicles. So we'll be adding about 8 to 15 additional student organization spaces. For anyone that's gone through ASA, you'll know that we never have enough spaces to allocate on the 3rd floor to the groups that apply, so hopefully this will help alleviate that. Next up is the re-entry students right over here. There. So that's going to be about 450 square feet specifically allocated to the re-entry center. Right now they are in Cesar Chavez, so with them moving into MLK basement, it will free up the transfer student center, allowing them to have more space in Cesar Chavez and allowing the re-entry space to have their own area that they can call for themselves. A lot of the spaces you'll see is kind of the same format where you have a big open collaborative table to do a lot of different work. You have couches that can be able to be moved as well as some cubicles. On the left side, if you jump over, it's kind of that purple color as well. That is going to be additional student organization space. So think the cubicles on the 3rd floor, but a little bit different in terms of cubicles. What we're looking at is thinking about what didn't work on the 3rd floor and making sure that we have different types of storage capabilities available for the MLK basement. The tan orangish area is going to be the undocumented students program. And so that's going to be about 700 square feet for the undocumented students program to, again, be able to work. Their director will have a space. They'll have movable furniture in the middle, as well as kind of more private desk and cubicle areas for any conversations to be taking place, for any homeworks and assignments to be able to be done. Now, in the middle right here is considered our shared space. So you have actually 7 conference rooms that are going to be going into MLK basement. One of the biggest things we've realized since the opening of Eshelman is the need for private spaces to have any student group meetings, etc. And so we wanted to add in as many student group meeting areas as possible. So you'll see 3 little groups where you can have about 4 to 6 people sit in there with a table. The big middle one in the right over here is going to be your shared event space, which can be only reservable for residents within the MLK basement. The reason for that is we want to make sure that we are prioritizing the groups going into MLK basement and allowing them to have the ability to reserve these spaces for their events before any outside entities take over that space. And so hopefully next year, next AVP will write those policies and get that rounded and signed. They'll also have movable walls. It will also be decked out with a full AV system. What that means is it's all sound everywhere, projectors built in, the sliding glass walls, a lot of outlets everywhere, as well as movable furniture. And that should fit about 50 people. So for any large events that need to take place, for any of the student groups going in there, or any of the residents going in there, they'll be able to do that and reserve it. You'll have 2 more conference rooms right below that. All these walls will be glass in the middle, as well as ceiling high, so they will be private spaces. You'll have a larger conference room as well. This is really cool. This is going to be brand new.
I guess I'll have to do this. Any objections to extending a little on his time by 5 minutes?
Thanks.
No objections, we'll extend time by 5 minutes.
If any of you have been down to the 2nd and 3rd floor, you'll know that storage is a really big problem for student groups. What we're going to have is an electronic locker system right over here. So you're going to have about 40 to 50 lockers built into the wall, which are going to have an electronic keypad and have different sizes. The reasoning for that is for residents going into MLK basement, they'll be able to use their personal electronic keypad to store their backpack, laptop, whatever it is, into that space, leave it there all day if they need, and then come back and pick it up. And of course, the admin office will have a master key in case anyone forgets their key. If you scroll down the other center, so Student Parent Center will be right over here. Super excited, they'll have their own personal office. They'll have their kind of kids work area over here, as well as open space. You have another conference room, office, and then kitchen as well for all the residents to use. On the left side, you will have the food pantry in the basement. Next steps for next year for Senator-elect sitting in the room. Things to go over will be reservation policies for everyone. The furniture selection is also a big thing. It's kind of been picked out, but again, those finalizations will happen next year, as well as the maintenance fee discussion. So there's not a set number on the amount of maintenance fee per square footage, so that conversation will have to be had. And then finally, of course, key card access. Question? And next up, we have our executive officer reports. So first up, we have President Dushan.
So I'll keep this short since anything I have to tell y'all will just be mostly like wrapping up since you all are almost officially done. So ED search is going well. We've had the 3 out of the 4 candidates on campus. Tomorrow will be 4 for 4. And then as a committee, we're going to deliberate. We have some good candidates. So it'll be an interesting process, kind of going through and deciding who's going to be our ED. So tomorrow is the last Thursday and Friday are the last days. So if you all want to come to like the open forum part and pop your head through, feel free. CACSIP updates. We are basically done with all of the CACSIP proposals. So if you have questions about specific CACSIP proposals, feel free to ask me offline. We have one more meeting scheduled, and then that's basically it. All notifications will be sent out towards the middle of May, and so money will be starting for next year, and it'll be recurring, so that's exciting. For people in the room who will be senators next year, and execs. Key things will be OSI. Big changes are happening there, so pay attention. Top the leaders in that space are leaving, so sheds lights on kind of what's moving forward. Also, a lot of admin in general are leaving the campus. Everyone's really hopping ship, and it's usually the people who've been here the longest, so it kind of shows you who's staying. So just be aware of that. Also, budget. The biggest thing will be how do you save programs that already exist, because we won't really be able to be in a space of new programs. For the execs, the student union will be your number one priority next to like advocating for students at large. So pay attention to that, stay active on that. Enjoy your year, don't be stressed. For all of you around the table, congratulations, you all are done. Well, after tonight, but like, done, you all made it. Yay, yeah. Woo. Any questions? No, yay, okay. Bye, y'all.
Next up, is Melissa here? Is Sarah here? Okay, let's move on to Miriam, External Affairs Vice President.
Hello everyone, good to see you all. So I have a lot of updates actually, there's a lot of stuff going on in the next couple of weeks. So I'd like to thank everybody for in XCOM for passing the Syria Consortium bill first of all. It's a really huge campaign that's going to be going on throughout this summer and next year as well. Something that I hope the next EADP really puts a lot of effort into as well, because a lot of students have been working on it this past year. Some updates on that. We've just had a bunch of meetings with various administrators at the Regents level to talk about creating a policy proposal to have the state government and the UCOP mandate scholarships for Syrian refugees and create, a funding pool to allow that to happen both through private funding and possibly creating a trust fund that the regions would push for. So that's a proposal that's being discussed as of now. And there's a lot of students and students organized here, Syria specifically across the UC system that we've been working with that are going to be continuing this work in the summer. So thank you again for passing that bill. It was really important that you all passed that in XCOM, and I hope the same happens in Senate as well. Second, the Islamophobia advocacy agenda, or support for it. Thank you very much for passing that in XCOM as well. So this will be taken to UCSA in our May meeting, and there's a system-wide Islamophobia advocacy agenda that students are pushing for across the UCs. That's going to be going on throughout the summer, as well as going into next year as well. In terms of UCSA, there's a few bills that I have been specifically working on with other EVPs from different campuses. We've been discussing issues around, the whole conversation around gender-neutral bathrooms and whatnot. There's also a large conversation that's kind of left out whenever that's discussed, such as menstruation resources for women. So one proposal that we're trying to bring up to UCOP at the next meeting that's coming up and in the next UCSA board meeting is having policies where we can get resources for women who need, menstruation, supplies, basically, in the restrooms for free. And trying to get that implemented UC-wide. So that's a side project that we've been working on. Next, in terms of UCSA, so last meeting we finalized our ethical investments task force, and we will be appointing an ethical investments officer to basically go through and create a holistic report of all of the investments of the regions, all of the investments in every single UC, and create a holistic report to give to the regions by the end of next year. And this officer is basically going to be tasked with working with organizers from the ground and involving them in these spaces. The point of creating this task force was to kind of not just have the limelight on elected officials, because elected officials are already very overstressed and they frankly don't really get the work done because they're so busy doing all of their other responsibilities. So the point of this was to get the organizers who have been working on this from day one on various divestment campaigns and put them in the room so that they can actually have the power to talk to the regions themselves and give the report that
UCSA has basically approved to let happen. So that passed this past meeting, and this next meeting that's coming up at UCSA, we will be finalizing the details of the officer's responsibilities. Next, in our next board meeting at UCSA, we'll be talking about the selection of the next student regent. And so the interview process will be happening. If you all don't know, the UCSA board basically comes up with the 3 top nominations that the regents will later approve of. So we will be going through that process. All the information is on the website. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know in regards to that. Next, I'm going to move on to City Council real quick. So we released a press release at 12 p.m. today on the minimum wage issue that was talked about yesterday in City Council. Basically, it was what passed in the City Council was really watered down, not what we've been pushing for, and so we've highlighted all those small discrepancies in how the bill was passed and amended to kind of like show that the work that many people have been doing throughout the year has not really been pushed for within City Council. So that was kind of a disappointment, but people are still working on that. There's a lot of organizers still moving towards making sure that we have the proper minimum wage within our city. Next, voter reg meetings are still happening. So people in my department are working on finalizing a lot of those meetings. We'll be transitioning over to the next AVP in regards to our updates on the MOU and whatnot that we've been working on throughout the year. Light Up Berkeley, we have our final meeting coming up in a couple weeks or in 2 weeks. And we're going to be giving the results of our survey. Can I extend time? Or no? 2 minutes?
We have to extend time by 2 minutes.
Almost done.
Any objections? Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. So we're going to be giving the results of this survey of where we want the lights to go. And hopefully we can get that done in the summer, hopefully, now that they have all the information that they need. In terms of our campaigns that we've been working on, the You Consent campaign, my You Consent manager has been working really hard throughout the year, so shout out to her. She's trying to figure out ways to institutionalize a lot of the resources that she's built. And so that's what's happening this next week, just writing everything down. It's a lot of like record keeping and making sure that the people that are going into office next year have all the information that they need. Same with the How Are You campaign as well. The Mental Health Coalition will be having a coalition-wide meeting to kind of like see where they want to go from there next year. We will be hosting the June transition meeting at UC Berkeley for UCSA. So that's when like all the different officers basically transition, and that's when all the elections are basically over. And finally, in terms of ledge affairs, every single lobby visit that we've ever done, we have a report that's out now. If you want access to it, it's on the website. We have one more lobby visit during Dead Week, so if any of you are interested in that, please feel free to contact us. Other than that, I'd like to thank every single person in my office. I know they're not here, obviously, but thank you very much to every single person. This year, I tried very hard to make sure that the work that I assigned allowed people to be uplifted, made sure that they had the freedom to do the work that they had the capacity to do, give them the reins so that they can grow into the positions of leadership that they are meant to go into. And I'm proud to say that every single director in my office, every single intern did an amazing job this year and really grew throughout the year. And if you asked anybody in the office, I believe they all learned a lot in how to be leaders in the fields that they all want to go to. And I'm really happy that our office was able to make that space for them. For me, like that was our number one priority, making sure that we made organizers and activists out of this office and out of this space. And I'm glad to say that every single person that worked in my office most definitely came out as amazing advocates. And so I'd like to ask you all to give a big round of applause to every single person. especially my chiefs and all my directors. So that's it. Thank you very much. It's been a great year. I'm glad that we basically got every single thing done that I was hoping we'd get done. I appreciate every single one of you and everything that you all had to say throughout the whole process. If you have any concerns with anything that I've talked about, in regards to my updates, please reach out to me. My door is always open. Other than that, congrats on finishing Senate. Really. I know it's hard. And I wish you all a great year next year. So yeah, that's it.
Attorney General Clement. Miriam.
Yes.
So something you announced was that UCSA created an ethical investments officer.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if there would be any chance for collaboration with the member associations. The discussion that happened in FICOM about the bill, Smile, Export, and I consulted with her on it, was that ASUC today will hopefully pass a bill creating a framework for ethical investments, but there actually needs to be some patches over the summer to go through and actually write up those
Right.
I was hoping there could be a point.
There is, yeah. So in the write-up that we have, that will be passed hopefully in the next meeting. So we will be basically writing the bylaws for this officer position, and we will be releasing that application to students at large to apply. The job of this officer is going to be to collaborate, to basically come up with a group of students who are from all the campuses and to collaborate in the exact way that you were talking about. It's not just a holistic report on the region's investments, it's a report on both the campus investments as well as the individual associations investments as well. So it's like a three-tiered goal, kind of. So yes, there will most definitely be room for collaboration. In fact, it's necessary to have that collaboration for this officer to do their job.
Any other questions? Senator Morrow?
Super short question. Do you know the dates for the UCSA transition in June?
Yeah. June 6th, 7th? You wrote it, right? 17th, 18th. Ah, yes, June 17th, 18th.
Senator Dean?
Yeah. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for all your updates. Thank you for all the work that you're doing this year. I was just going to ask, following Attorney General's question, when will the application be made public?
Right. So as soon as I guess like technically at the end of this board meeting, which is coming up next weekend. So we're just going to technically vote on the bylaws, and then as soon as that happens, staff will release an application the next day, and I'll personally be publicizing it, and you all are free to publicize it as well, or apply if you want to apply.
Any other questions? Thank you, Miriam. Next up, we have student advocate, Leah Ram. Hello. Oh, right. Okay, actually, we'll go back to someone. Academic affairs, Melissa Zoom.
Hi, everyone. Happy last Senate meeting. Not many announcements today. The extended laptop loan program launched this past week. We have 24 MacBook Airs, so go check them out if you want. We also have chargers at Bechtel and Moffitt. Bechtel is actually launching next week, so tell everyone that. Grants and scholarships have closed, and senators should be meeting with their people to go over allocations. If your senators have not been reached out to, please let me know now, because that is a problem. Shout out to all the senators that have sat on these committees, because y'all have been doing hella work allocating grants and scholarships. Mental health survey has been released to all of campus. 5,000 people will receive it, and we'll do a sample of that. Oh, Wellness Carnival went really well. I hope y'all went to check out the llamas. They were super cute, and we were really worried about the rain at first. But Gio told us that they're waterproof. So either way, they would be fine. academic senate committees. The applications are closing this Friday, so please apply. Okay. Thank you all for a great year. Feel free to reach out to me. I'll be around in May and June, but I'll be gone in July. So thank you all. Questions? Yeah. So the way it's been done in the past is that the outgoing AVP works with their policy department to confirm them. The incoming AVP is doing interviews with us, so we can work together to choose the appointees, but it'll be ultimately selected by us. Yes, Diana?
When will the survey be released?
So they did 500 random people yesterday. If you all got one, you're the lucky people, so take it. And they're doing the rest within the next week or so. We'll be analyzing the results over summer. Yeah. Any other questions? Sarah, do you have anything to add? All right. Thank you all. Thank you, Melissa. Okay, next up we have student advocate Leiron. Woo! Hello. It feels weird being here for the last time. SAO as of Monday had 49 open cases, 15 in our academic division, 13 in our conduct division, 12 in our financial aid division, and 9 in our grievance division. I will come back to case numbers a little bit later in my report because I have some very exciting news. As for things going on, I'm currently helping in the OPHD Assistant Director search. So Madi, who's one of the confidential care advocates, and I are teamed together as part of the interview process for all the top 5 candidates. We had 2 interviews on Monday. I think we have 2 or 3, or no, I think 3 more tomorrow. I mean, if they continue in that fashion, it's going to be hard pick because it really is a bunch of really, really awesome candidates. On Friday morning, CCRT will be meeting, so that'll be sort of, I think, a cumulative meeting thinking about the past year and moving forward. And then our office has a standing meeting with the Center for Student Conduct and Financial Aid and Scholarships offices on Friday. The academic division released a survey about minors, so like majors versus minors. I talked about it last week. Please circulate it. We've gotten a lot of responses, and we have a lot of departments interested in this. So we could have minors in programs that have never had minors if you all share with your constituencies and make sure interested folks express their interest. Also, our academic division has been a big part of the student voice, assisting the student information system services. As I mentioned last week, and as I sent out a link, you can report issues you're having, and if you are having issues or if people you know are having issues, please do report them, because they can only make their system better if they know what's wrong with it. And then I don't know if the email has gone through to you all yet, but I sent an email to Senate today about the results of the survey that the Graduate Assembly and ASUC released about sexual violence resources, policies, accessibility, and so on. Feel free to circulate as you wish. We're really excited about the data. Some things are good, a lot of things are not so good. And so I encourage those of you working on these issues next year to fight for what students have asked for. Final snacks, SAO's tradition at the end of the semester, will be happening the Friday and Saturday of Dead Week, so swing by Moffitt for some donuts and coffee. Please also share with your constituencies
because we want to feed them as well. And it's a great time for students to find out about us and our services. Our academic division gets a lot of cases at the end of the year because that's when a lot of academic stuff happens. And yeah, so please do share that event. I will be releasing an end of the year report on Friday through our Facebook. It'll let you all know what we did this year for a small sampler. We had 305 cases this year so far. For comparison, we had about 170 last year. Our financial aid division last year had like 30 cases. They had 95 this year. So our academic division had 109, conduct had 65, financial aid had 95, and grievance had 36. And when I joined SAO, the freshman grievance had maybe 3 cases a year. So it's been a huge year for us. Thank you to all of you who have circulated information about us and whatnot. And I just wanted to wrap up with a couple quick points. First of all, working in the ASUC and especially SAO has been by far the most meaningful experience of my Cal career and my life thus far. But I'm a tiny speck, and I do want to give a huge shout out to my office, especially my directors. One of them is sitting over there. Because I do a small fraction of the work, they do the rest of the work. They advise me, they inspire me, they check me when I need to be checked. Our caseworkers are amazing. If you are interested in working with our office next year, our doors are open. If you need help from our office next year, our doors are open. SAO is and always will be here for you all. Those of you who are graduating, congratulations, we somehow made it. Those of you who are interested in one day attending law school, I am here to answer your questions. And to those staying, and especially to the incoming ASUC, good luck. You are going to have a really challenging year ahead, a lot of big stuff happening, but you all can do it. Just keep your ears to the ground and take good care of yourself. And now I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, next is my report. I'm going to start off by doing a quick shout out for Melissa. So this is not part of my report, but before I forget, special shout out to Diana for hosting the first annual BSF dinner, as well as a huge thanks to Ben, Kathy, Boomer, and Grace. So that is from Melissa. She forgot to say. For me, I already told you about MLK, so please pass that bill. MOU's already been signed, so that's great. STEM Day is on April 29th, April 30th, which is this Saturday. It's going to be hosted by my office, Senator Ria Cho, and Senator West Gibson. Oh, we're not right now. But we're super excited about that. So there will be free food, there will be burgers, hot dogs, vegan hot dogs as well, free, as well as a ton of raffle prizes. So if you are part of any student organizations that are STEM related, they can table at the event, and if you table from 3 to 6 p.m., they automatically get a $50 Amazon gift card just for being there. So I'm seeing Tina's eyes get really big. Definitely encourage them on the Facebook event that we just made today. Let them know that they can sign up on the Google form, and if they sign up, like I said, show up. We'll have the table as well as the chairs. The only thing they need to do is create 10 STEM-related trivia questions. And I encourage you all to make a spectrum of trivia questions. What that means is for every person that attends the event, you can go around to the different tables, answer trivia questions. For every question you get correct, you get a raffle ticket. And if you get a raffle ticket, you get entered into the raffle prizes. So obviously, in terms of probability, the more questions you answer, the higher probability of getting a cool, dope prize. We have some really cool prizes. We have a specific senior raffle prize where we're giving out diplomas, the really expensive ones from the Cal Student Store, as well as license plate frames, things like that, as well as Amazon gift cards, Kindle Fires, Kindles, etc. Other than that, ED search is going on, just like your Donna said. So we'll have our last candidate tomorrow. We have our ECAB transition meeting next week. So current execs will meet with incoming execs to go over everything they need to know. Student union board meeting as well, which will be the last one, which is very exciting for me. And yeah, if anyone needs to get in contact with me, so I start work on May 19th, so I won't be around at all after I graduate. But if you need to get in contact with me, my email will be lavaniaj@stemcenterusa.com. If you email me, anything else, I will respond. Any questions? Cool. Okay. Moving on to student union board reps. Here's for Joe. Are they here? No. All right, moving on to elections council chair, Mary Shin, or Lynch.
Hi, y'all. Okay, really quick report. So just to conclude our crazy year, we certified all the election results. And yeah, that's literally it. Good luck on finals, everyone. Any questions? Thank you.
Next up, we have Attorney General Al Klimek.
Hello. Last meeting. So, in my office, we worked on passing several rules this week that you all will be voting on today. That includes the advocacy agenda format. Shout out to Matthew Lewis for helping write that. That was an interesting discussion. XCOM does sets a really great framework next year for Senate to make the advocacy agenda more impactful and dependable. We also worked with all of the ASUC programs for the charter program, the Modernization Act. We worked with Joe Iva and John Ray on the Onboarding Leadership Development Act. And I also worked with Samaya on the Socially Responsible Financial Practices Act. Other than that, we also met with DSF, Berkeley Student Foundation, I think last week. And we talked about bringing in DSF closer with the rest of the ACC, about potentially incorporating other scholarships into it, into expanding the range of students with provide services to make sure that all underrepresented communities are able to access those scholarships. And yeah, so the rest of my time for the past few weeks has been focused on transitioning. That's been my #1 goal. I've been meeting with Megan, my successor, and other officers, and getting officers, outgoing officers, to really make sure that transition happens well. I'm going to not be here over the summer, but I still will be offering myself as a resource to finish those projects out. And as everyone else, I want to thank all my staff. I've had a lot of great people working in my office. I'm happy that a lot of them are staying with us next year, or they're going to other offices in the ACC. So I'm just really excited that I was able to create an environment, and even more so than my directors were able to create an environment that enabled people to be leaders and work on the projects they wanted to work on. So that's my report.
Questions? Thank you, Alec. Next up, we have Chief Finance Officer. Is Tony here? No. Tony.
Hello, everyone. of you may be wondering why I'm red. It just so happened that on my way to Cafe de Red and on my way back, I just happened to be sunburned. That's why I'm red, okay? To start my report, I've been focusing primarily on APSA, as you all may well know. We're finished with that. The bill's on the consent calendar today. We're all set for next year in terms of budgets. To provide you all with some updates regarding our financial standing as an association. So I'm glad to announce to you all that our net assets as a student association has increased by nearly $500,000. Which means our worth as a student association has gone up, which is really good, fantastic. In addition to that, to break it down more specifically, our general reserves have also increased by around 300 to 400K. So our huge pot of money has increased by that much, again, almost close to $500,000. So we're doing fine, we're doing exceptional on our financial standing. A few words of departure. I want to thank you all for all your hard work this year. I truly do salute you all for everything that you have contributed. And next year, Paul Cho will do a fine job as your next CFO. And then to the incoming class of senators and other elected officials or appointed officials, good luck to you all. There's going to be a lot of things to do next year. Just get ready for it. Yeah, thank you everyone so much. It's been a fantastic year. I'm going to miss you all a lot. ACC has been truly, has defined me as a junior transfer student. I focused a lot on ACC over my two years here, and thank you all for checking in with me, making conversation with me. It's all been great. I do recognize and appreciate you all for being part of this association.
Any questions? Okay, thank you, Jody.
No question?
Next up, we have Chief Communications Officer, Chloe.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations on making it to your last Senate meeting. Just a few things. So I sent a reminder, but just make sure that you guys update your April outreach hours by the end of this week. Just because Shujit needs to submit the stipend stuff by May 2nd, so whatever's on the sheet that's it. We can't update it after, so just do it right now, update your hours just so it's easier for everyone. Quarter zips are here, so if anyone on your staff needs to pick it up, they can come tomorrow morning at 9:30 or just email me and we can find a time. And then also, just the last thing, me and Alec and Shujit have been having some meetings, and we think it would be a good idea if you guys do office hours during Dead Week and Finals Week. So 4 hours during the next 2. I'm just kidding. And don't forget about me when you guys are all famous, because I know you guys are all going far, far places.
Questions? Thank you, Chloe. Next up is Chief Accountability Officer, Shujit.
Hi, everyone. I have a pretty short report, too. So, like Chloe said, get your April outreach hours recorded in, please. So I'm going to be working on calculating your stipends, and I'm going to finalize all that tomorrow morning. I'm going to be sending out emails to those of you who may have reduced stipend just to confirm with you that all the data is accurate. So if you don't get an email from me by the end of the
like assume that you are getting your expected stipend. So I will personally reach out to you if you have a modified stipend. Yeah, so you can always feel free to email me or message me if you're unsure about what your amount is, what amount to put in the form, and I will let you know. I talked to Selena as well, and she's going to send out an instructions email on how to fill out the form, because I know we've been getting a lot of questions about that, so hopefully that should be clarified. And remember to receive your stipend in full. You need to turn in the end of the year report due this Friday night. It's the last report of the year. As long as you meet those requirements and you can keep it pretty concise, and I'll approve it, and you'll be able to get your stipend in full. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you all for a wonderful year. I'm really proud of all the work that my office has done and all of the work that you all have done as well over the course of the year. ASUC has been a really great experience. I'm glad that we got to work together, learn together, and grow together a lot. And I really am going to miss you all. Hopefully, I'll find a way to get involved next year. But for the time that we spend together, I'll really cherish it. Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you very much. Okay, next up we have me here. CEO.
Cool. So yeah, I'm going for the PowerPoint again. So folks, we did launch today for Operation Liftoff, and we have a 30% discount that all of Cal students will be able to get. And I do want to show you a video about Operation Liftoff. This is the video that I sent you folks, and I'm just going to play it for you folks here. Who does technology here? Technical difficulties.
There we go.
made this video. Josh Khan was the director of this video, and I really want to thank Chloe in her office for really helping us out and getting some of these cast members.
No objections, we'll extend time by 5 minutes. Okay, time is extended by 5 minutes.
And all the people who acted in that video. We're really excited for this launch, and we're really hoping that it's going to help people for move out and during Dead Week, because some people like to travel and stuff during Dead Week for some reason. We do have another operation that we just began and pretty much finished. It's called Operation Crave. That's what we're calling it. Operation Crave. It is a partnership with DoorDash. So DoorDash is a company that's a Berkeley company. So people who were Berkeley students made DoorDash, and actually the person, our point of contact at DoorDash was a former ASUC senator. So we worked with a former ASUC senator to get this deal through. Basically, what we're doing, if you go to the next slide, is we have on our child dining page, there's a request DoorDash button. It's very simple. You just tap that button and you can go to DoorDash. One of the reasons I put this up there is because child dining was being mean to us, and so we decided to put that there just so that they have some competition so they can start moving along. And then additionally, what we're getting back to this button, if you move to the next slide, is we're getting about $2,000 for Octo, so we're getting $2,000 for 4 months of that button being active. This is during the summer, so this is a pretty good deal for us. We thought so we're getting $2,000. It's a pretty good sponsorship, and so we're really excited about this one. This is going to probably launch sometime early May. So we have a quick summary of all these sponsorships that we've done this semester, this year actually. So we have Operation Dreamweaver, which I told you about. That's with Adobe. That was for $3,000 for Octo. Then we have Operation Liftoff, which was with Lyft, and that one is over $100,000 if you amortize it across all students. So that's a pretty big deal. And then Operation Crave, which I just told you about, which is $2,000. That's coming directly to the office. And yeah, I do want to say that I really have, I feel like I have the best staff. I know they're not here, but just like see what they've done. No? They're truly amazing. They stay up into the wee hours of the night, just like coding. And they're people who could be earning so much more outside. They could be earning ridiculous amounts of money, yet they come here and they work for free and build products that affect everyone. Like Berkeley Time, everyone benefits from Berkeley Time. Berkeley Mobile, everyone benefits from Berkeley Mobile. You can see that with this Lyft feature especially. And Hermione's going to do great things in the future. I'm really excited for that. So these people, I'm really, really proud of them. I really think I have the best staff. This was our first year, folks. This is our first year, and this is what we accomplished. So this is this, I think, is a new era for technology in the association. I'm really excited to see what Apollo does with this office next year. And to the senator-elects and the exec-elects, good luck. You're gonna need it.
All right, we'll take questions now if there are any. Yes, Senator Dean.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on the sponsorship that has to do with that?
Yeah. So elaborate in what sense?
So I know that you said that, for example, Operation Liftoff is over $100,000, for Dreamweaver is $3,000, and then for Crave $2,000.
Yeah.
Is that going directly into your office?
No. So for Dreamweaver and Crave, they're both going into our office. So those are all going into their donations that are made, and it's really nice for the other companies because they can call this a tax-deductible donation. So they usually donate to our office directly. For Operation Liftoff, what's happening is Lyft is taking the loss in they're giving away some money in the 30% off, right? And so that amounts to about, if someone uses the maximum, we all use the maximum amount they're giving us, that amounts to $2.2 million that they're willing to give us. We're making a conservative estimate of about 5% of that will be used, and that comes out to be a little bit over $100,000. So that's what we're reporting right now. So that's what it's not going to us, it's going to the students. So it's amortized across all students on campus. Of course.
Okay, that's it for questions.
Cool. So I will be singing a final song. It is the reprise to So Long Farewell, and we put it. It's from the musical Sound of Music, and we put a little bit of ASUC stuff in it. So it's been customized. All right, I'll give it a shot. There's a sad sense of longing in Eshelman Hall, and the bells in our tower too. And up on the 5th floor, an absurd little bear is popping out to say goodbye. Regretfully they tell us, but firmly they compel us to say goodbye to you. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. I hate to go and leave this crazy side. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen. I'd love to go today. Yes? No. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. I'm glad to go. I cannot tell a lie.
I have to say goodbye.
The bears have gone to bed, and so must I.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, goodbye.
So the Student Housing Commissioner, Matthew Lewis, will be presenting later. Moving on to Senate committee reports. First up is Governance and Internal Affairs Committee Chair Morrow.
So we had a final meeting. We passed this MLK space allocations, then also SR 83, 84, 85, 88, and 90 in committee. So it was a busy night. I got through them all. They all eventually passed by unanimous consent. And for one last time, we got Tom Bethtown.
Next up is External and Universities Affairs Committee Vice Chair Bruce.
Pass all our bills. Pass all our bills. Specifically one that is actually pretty important to XCOM. It kind of changed what XCOM does next year. Brought by Alec and Matthew. And basically what it will do is incorporate the work of advocacy agenda, because let's be real, that kind of fades away after a little bit. We all kind of forgot about it. But what this goal will do is basically take that and all that purpose and put it into the work of XCOM. So XCOM will have public forums where we'll invite administrators, or XCOM will invite administrators in to speak on these issues and have conversations about these issues. So for example, sexual assault or mental health, and so to have conversations, but also to make more actionable items, so have more tangible things to find out. So we have that was a really good idea, and we passed it.
Next up, we have Finance Committee Chair.
So we ended our time experience with passing RSO waivers. We also passed the ASUC budget for next year, 2016-2017. And we also passed SR 94, enacting a bylaw to manage socially responsible financial practices. And SATCOM, BESCOM, always.
have our consent calendar, or are there any items that need to be pulled? Senator Rashid.
I would like to pull the appointment Hirtal and Johnny because they need to be switched.
I already switched it in the beginning of Senate.
Oh, is mine just wrong?
Did you not just?
Oh, mine is wrong. I don't pull anything.
Yeah, I did it as a motion in the beginning. Senator Dean.
The title is wrong. It's a resolution in support of a UC-wide advocacy agenda to combat homophobia.
What should it be?
A resolution in support of a student-led UC-wide advocacy agenda to combat homophobia.
Okay. Are there any other items that need to be pulled? Consent calendar passes with unanimous consent. Moving on to immediate consideration for SR. It goes to immediate consideration. Yeah. Senator Dean, if you'd like to make a motion to change that title.
Yeah, motion to change the title. Sorry,
Is there-
I didn't catch that in committee. I thought that was changed in committee. It was.
Well, we can still change it.
I think it's just on the Senate agenda. It's a different title.
All right.
Okay, and I have draft ones to add.
Sure. So, you go ahead.
Actually, let me give it to Kat, the Senator Kat first.
This one is it's already added, so you can scroll. It's the last whereas. Yeah. So it's just whereas on December 14, 2015, the Office of Equity Inclusion released a statement as for the monthly community with commitment as quote members of an academic community united in its commitment to work with and with the office of the vote. A unique responsibility to increase each year's rights. And we need to add it. Yeah.
So, under whereas they found the following concerns to be of high priority but not limited to. Yeah, right there. Okay, so campus administrative support. The presence of Islamophobic posters from the Horowitz Foundation across campus and the inadequate response from the Chancellor's office. We need to change it to Horowitz Freedom Center. I actually got the name wrong. This is a long and then one, so. Okay, after an isolated incident. Furthermore, the statement did not identify the content of the post. Furthermore, the statement did not identify the content of the posters as
Maddie, slow down.
As defamatory. Identical posters targeting students. On the UCLA campus were found just days before, UCLA Vice Chancellor of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, Jerry King, responded with a Jerry King. Responded with a strong statement legitimizing the Muslim Student Association and Students for Justice in Palestine organizations on the campus and defended the students who were attacked. And then on the therefore be equivalent all the way down. Okay, so then it's campus administrative support right there as well. Number statement, comma, released in the presentation. Following the precedent set by UCLA Vice Chancellor of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, comma, Jerry King, comma, in support of the targeted students on the UC Berkeley campus, and recognizes SJP and MSA as legitimate campus organizations in good standing. At SJP and the MSA as legitimate campus organizations in good standing. So a motion to add those amendments to the bill.
Is there a second? Any objections? Motion passes with unanimous consent. Is there a motion to pass the bill?
Motion to pass the bill.
Any objections? The bill passes with unanimous consent. Moving on to announcements. Today, for our last meeting, we'll start with Wes.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Lavanya. So I just want to thank you all for passing SR 67. So the Student Environmental Resource Center now has space on campus, and that's something that's really important to me. That was my second platform. It was something that Sir has been working on forever, and that's really awesome. I'm very close to tears right now, actually. Thank you all for everything you've done this year. Learned a tremendous amount from all of you, and I'm really happy to be done. So thank you all so much. Good night.
It's been a year. In a weird way, I'm going to miss this, even though we're all going on to our own things that we're going to be all going to be doing great things, whether we are going to be involved in the ASUC here or not. So that's like one thing that I definitely take away. We all spent, I don't even want to count how many hours together. Like, to be honest with you, it's been a really long time, but it's also been stressful. It's been fun, and I just want to thank you all for the year that we've had. Thank you.
I'm just going to keep it short. Thanks, everyone, and no new announcements.
Thank you all for an awesome year. So the week, actually the week when all the admin want to meet, so work does not end. On May 5th, there's going to be a diversity applicants committee. It's one of our last ones, and we're going to be writing up a list of local programs that we don't want to cut from budget cuts. So we have been faculty on the year. The next day, we use Chancellor Dirks. So the Chancellor Advisory Council wants to supply multiple programs. We're probably meeting after 2 years since this town hasn't just been meeting with them. So if you want anything to slip in there, I can try, but it's a 45-minute meeting. So we're trying our best. Also, April 30th is the day that we recognize as the fall of Southeast Asia, or fall of Saigon. So I know Salinas has an event on April 30th that I encourage y'all to support, but also recognize April 30th is a day that usually it falls during the fall semester, so we get to like do a commemorative event, but since this year we don't, just want to remind this is a day when a lot of Laotian, Cambodian, and Vietnamese diaspora have started. So this is the day America pulled out of the Vietnam War. So it's a very solemn day, but if you don't want to talk about it, I would.
Hello everyone. I'm just going to keep this short. First thing, Equal Union application is out, so I'm going to share it or like apply even. It's really fun. You can organize the whole day, market. It's stressful, but it's really fun. And yeah, I just went through the whole year. I've done so much in this past year, and it's very sad that I'm actually leaving because I missed this and oh look, it's close.
So a couple announcements. The first one, next week I have a senior reunion, so if you know any FPS folks who were FPS students that are graduating this year, you're invited to this. So it's Tuesday, May 3rd, 10 to 12 at the FPF building. Secondly, for Wellness Committee, lots of things have been done. You all can check out the Wellness Committee at virtual.edu for all the info. Heads up for folks who want to do wellness projects, the proposals will be due next fall in November. And also heads up, so we as a committee decided to increase the fee from $146 to $153. And this is just to put in more money to sustain sexual assault services, diversity, like a whole of diversity programs. So thank you all. It's really nice to know.
It's been a fun, exciting year, and thank you all.
Hi everyone, so I just want to thank you all for this entire year. I feel like I came into this space as a freshman, and I'm coming out less naive. But honestly, thank you for teaching me a lot about myself and a lot about ASUC and also how awesome everyone is.
Peace everyone. I have one big announcement. So my office is having a concert on Friday. Looks from up here. The artist is named Lee. He's like a black and queer artist out of New York. And it's just to celebrate both of my identities in the intersection. One of my platforms and one of my purposes in life is to include the intersections and meet folks at the intersection. So yes, my thing is going to be cool. It's going to be a raffle. Also, April self-love month. So participate to get into the raffle. We'll be raffling off money at the concert. So you should enter for the raffle. And I appreciate all y'all. Like it's been, this is our year. I don't know if that'll work like 16. And I appreciate every single one of y'all trying to contact y'all. Cool. Much love, and I'll see y'all on the flip side.
Okay, two things. First, if you're not going to STEM Day, celebrating what Kathy mentioned, or going to Senator Salinas' event on April 30th, Alicia and I are co-hosting Berkeley Builds, a design plan for social impact. Even though registration is done, there's still a pretty cool opportunity to go and check it out, see the creativity of Berkeley students, and there's going to be some cool keynotes as well, including one of the head people for Chief for Medical who there at some point, for some reason, including that. Next, somebody brought it up, I think, but that May 2nd is the State of Student Leadership meeting. May 2nd also happens to be my 21st birthday, but I'm going to be getting up here and showing up at 10 in the morning. I would love if somebody else could join me so that I'm not the, representing what ASUC is when I'm in that state. So if somebody else could come, so that is very early. Additionally, May 6th, Jordanos and I have I believe, hour-and-a-half long meeting with the Chancellor. I'm going to be drafting up a list of questions. Please send me what you want want me to bring to those spaces. There's definitely a lot to ask about. I really want to hear all of y'all's feedback. And then lastly, the incoming executives are going to be releasing our applications for our offices soon. Please encourage folks from all of your communities to apply, especially issues that you don't think necessarily we are fully knowledgeable or aware of. We really want folks from across communities, across parties, and offices. I can't understate that enough. Please suggest this to folks who apply. Lastly, I was, before this meeting, reading through what I shared back on Thanksgiving, and it was really adorable. I won't reread through all that. I know y'all got worried there for a second. I just wanted to say, even after everything, it all rings true still. I hella appreciate all of you, and good luck with your next endeavors.
Hi everyone, thank you from the bottom of my heart for passing the advocacy agenda to combat homophobia as well as the socially responsible financial practices bill. Beyond that, this has been an amazing year. I think everyone can took the word from my own mind, heart, soul about the experience that we had. I want to make sure that we keep these friendships alive, probably for the rest of our lives. So please feel free to reach out to me. There is always a friend in me for you all. I do want to give this time and space to actually read Vice Chancellor of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, Jerry Kane's letter. It's actually really interesting, and I actually read it today. And this is the administration and the support that these bills I asked for my community. And in light of the recent heroic posters that were on campus, I really did kind of hope that campus administrators would respond in a way that was supportive and did kind of enable us as a community, and they really didn't. They released like 5 sentences that did not provide content, that did not provide support, that did not even call the language on the posters as defamatory, and I really don't understand why. I know that private party interests, whatever. Anyways, I'm going to read the letter out loud because I think it's really, really inspirational, and this is hopefully one day going to be a letter that is going to be sent out by the Office of Equity and Inclusion at UC Berkeley as well. Back in November 2015, someone put up hostile posters accusing 2 student organizations, the Muslim Student Association and Students for Justice in Palestine, of being murderers and terrorists. Although posted anonymously, an outside provocateur named David Horowitz eventually took credit. The administration responded firmly, including messages from the Chancellor as well as the Dean of Students. As part of that response, I wrote a cross check that specifically rebuked the tactic of guilt by association, of using blacklists, of ethnic slander, and sensationalized images engineered to trigger racially tinged fear. Last Friday, Horowitz struck again, but this time he also listed individual students and faculty by name. This serious escalation amounts to a focused, personalized intimidation that threatens specific members of our community. In response, the Chancellor sent messages to those individually targeted. In addition, various resources within Student Affairs under the leadership of Vice Chancellor Janina Montero were activated. I'm writing to you now to broadcast a larger message. My job as Vice Chancellor for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion is to build equity for all, and to make sure that there is an equal learning and working environment for everyone, regardless of political or religious affiliation. But if your name is plastered around campus, casting you as a murderer or terrorist, how could you stay focused on anything like learning, teaching, or research? In modern times, we may have to resign ourselves to the reality of negative, unfair, and often anonymous statements about a hold recourse. But I refuse to believe that we can do nothing about hateful posters pushed into our school and workplaces by outsiders. Indeed, the recent statement of principles against intolerance adopted by the UC region encourage quick and forceful response. Principles I and J. This message is sent in that spirit. First, we repudiate guilt by association. I, the Chancellor, and the entire administration categorically reject guilt by association. The Muslim Student Association is an officially recognized student organization based on religious and cultural identity that is in good standing. Students for Justice in Palestine is an officially recognized student organization based on political commitments that is also in good standing. Like any other student group, they have equal rights and claim to engage and participate in campus life. Indeed, this is core to the diversity we celebrate. We reject any religious, political, or academic orthodoxy that is coerced by threat and intimidation. Second, we recognize the serious escalation. Listing people by name raises the stakes. The chilling psychological harm cast by such blacklist campaigns, especially when pushed into our physical campus grounds, cannot be dismissed as oversensitivity. If you don't find these posters repulsive, consider your own name on them with whatever ludicrous stigmas that outsiders could conjure up. And if this isn't enough, consider what might follow. What will you say when the next round of posters on campus includes photos, phone numbers, email addresses, home addresses, names of parents, names of children? These are not just hypotheticals. They have happened in other political contexts, such as a website called the Nuremberg Files, which targeted individual doctors who provided lawful abortions. Third, we will deploy all lawful resources to counter any harassment or intimidation. To be clear, these posters violated university policy. Regardless of content, UCLA has mutual time, place, and manner regulations that prohibit unauthorized graffiti and the like. For example, university system-wide regulations, Title 5, Division 10, Chapter 1, passed pursuant to state law, make clear that non-affiliates cannot affix signs and posters on campus property without permission, regardless of content. In addition, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals' final opinion concerning the Nuremberg Files website, Planned Parenthood, the American Coalition of Life Activists, makes clear that the closer that any posting gets to a true threat, the easier it will be to officially penalize. I can't help but notice the irony here. The entire point of blacklist is to chill speech, but those who engage in this tactic will hypocritically hide behind freedom of expression for protection. In my earlier cross-check replying to hateful posters, I explained why I took blacklist so seriously. With this escalation, I take the matter more seriously because outsiders have targeted fellow Bruins by name through physical posters, trespassing in our house. This tactic may work elsewhere without formal review, but it won't work here at UCLA. This tactic may deter scholars elsewhere from staking out unpopular positions, but it won't work here. This tactic may prompt leaders elsewhere to avoid those who have been targeted, but it won't work here. Regardless of our religion, regardless of our politics, we should all agree that thuggish intimidation is beneath us. The demagoguery isn't our style. Fellow Bruins, let us stand together for at least this. Thank you.
For sure, how's everyone? And to reiterate what Diana added about wellness, so just an important piece. Sorry. That one of our confidential care advocates is actually funded through the Wellness Fee Initiative. So thank you to our future folks for making that happen, and thanks to whoever's going to be working on wellness next year, and continuing those efforts because the university. So the confidential care advocate's office is actually funded through UCOP, but it is only given funding for 3 years. So that's going to be an increase soon. So it's important to really understanding how wellness and maybe even taxes in upcoming years can continue to support that office because it is really important. Other than that, thank you all so much for a really great year. I encourage you all to reach out to the people, whether it's people in this room, people outside of this room, who retained you in these positions, and just really letting them know, because we would. This was such hard work. I mean, really hard stuff. So thank you all for always showing up. Just always, making sure that we're serving students, and I'm excited about what things you all do.
Okay, hi everyone. Excited that this is my last announcement. I just wanted to say that I was really glad I was able to wrap up my last minute end of the year projects, including key card access. Thank you, John Ray and Joe. So I got key card access for the performing arts course, which is songs. Don't forget, social number 3 is on Sunday at my place, so please come to that. It'll be cool. AB's cooking, so it's going to be good. Zoe and I got something accomplished last week, and it's super awesome, so I'm going to let her still under and announce that. Thank you to everyone who wore denim today in support of in support of combating sexual violence. If you are interested in learning more about that, I can explain it to you or send you the links. And then for the 4 of you that came late, don't forget to take your picture. And then I will be here after Senate for you to take your picture. And then for all of y'all who have no idea what I'm talking about, basically, if you look at the back of your Cal ID, there's 3 words on it, and it says honesty, integrity, and respect. And that is the UC Berkeley Honor Code. And so we just want to do a little bit of a revamping campaign and kind of challenge, because it's really about academics and how you should act as a student, but we wanted to challenge it and push it a little farther and think about how it relates to the way that we treat each other as peers and how we define our stories in the way that we act. So the op-ed is coming out on Friday. Check it out, share it, post your own ideas of honesty, integrity, and respect. And other than that, I wrote my emotional little paragraph in the email that I sent today. So if you didn't read that, you should read it. I'll shed tears while writing it. Would recommend. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, just some quick business stuff. SCSC is meeting on Fridays, and we'll probably be during 10 weeks, so get for more meetings. A couple things regarding academics. So one of my chief of staff is now going to be chief of staff for the next year's CTO. He sits on one of the academic committees with College of Engineering. They're thinking about proposals to allow STEM individuals to take STEM classes pass and pass. So the 3 of the STEM senators in the room, if you're interested in pressing this fall, looking at classes that you outside your major, think about it. So you can take classes maybe in bioengineering, I would highly recommend, and you can take pass and pass, which we can't do as senators. So I'll get into more supplemental stuff. Regarding committees, which is the best committee, .com, because we should put a picture after our meeting. So, hey! Anyway. One of the weirdest things regarding for me being a student senator was like it's a surreal experience. It's something that when you sort of think back, I really did that, or all of you did that, or people who were involved in this conversation when we're still pretty young. Our lives really haven't got much further than we got college. So what I'm really excited to see is what you all will do once you graduate college and you live out hopefully the next 60 years of your life, and what you accomplish from then. At the same time, when you're being a senator, you sort of prioritize the ASUC and all your other work, get backlog, and And some weird times like you spend all nighters like writing essays, and that's what happened to me in here just last week. And you have a 9 a.m. meeting, and you go into that room, and then you have to discuss like a multi-million-dollar project at the university, and you negotiate, and you get them to cut $400,000 off of it. And you walk away like, wow, that was a really weird meeting. And no other institution which you have students have that ability to be at that table to pressure administration to make substantial changes in university policy. So for the outgoing senators and for the incoming senators, really acknowledge that power that you have and see if you can continue to use it to benefit the student body here. It's an experience that I really enjoyed to have. Don't be a stranger once you leave the space. Feel free to call me up. I know I have disagreeing opinions with you, but I do respect all of you here. Honestly, I'll be here for another year at least. And yeah, I'll miss this. I honestly think next week I'm gonna wake up on Wednesday and freak out in the Senate where I forgot to submit my report. So that's pretty much gonna happen. But thank you all for a great year, and yeah, go Bears.
Hello. No, I think calm is calm. We also took a picture, so please upload that, whoever has a picture. But yeah, to echo what everyone else said in the room, I really, truly learned so much from being involved in the space, all the conversations that we had was such an educational dialogue that I took a lot away from. And I'm really humbled to have gotten this opportunity. And although we no longer have Senate, or we will no longer be senators, and we won't be like this ever again, we can still meet us. That sounded really sad. I'm sorry. We should still meet outside once in a while because we're all busy people, but still try to be a better ally to each other's communities because I'll always try to be a better ally to your communities as well. And I hope you all know that even after all of this, I will be hopefully be a support system to you all if you were to need it. So feel free to reach out to me. And for the incoming senators, as I was writing the final report, I was thinking about what advice could we offer them. And one thing that I thought of was that don't be afraid to take on long-term projects. Although even though it may seem very far out there, look at the MLK, the basement, the space allocation. Look at all the impacts that long-term project has left and is going to continuously leave. So yeah, I'm excited for all of us leaving Senate and for folks coming into Senate. And yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Hello everyone, although I was Mark absent, much. But I think this is a perfect time for me to say my Senate crush. Hashtag JK. I'm gonna keep that a secret. But yeah, just to continue with my announcements, I remember during the beginning of the SLI, I posed a question about how do you not lose yourself, and I feel like throughout this process I did lose myself, and I didn't want to admit it. But I think with all of your support, I really do appreciate it. Being an independent candidate is not fucking easy, and I've been trying to hate it, but it's just been really emotional for me, just because I'm graduating, and I'll be the first person tired of that. With that being said, I'm just so happy that I was able to accomplish not only 3 platforms but 4 platforms, and yeah, I'm just really happy. But even 30 I'm having free cupcakes. And the Health Opportunity Fund, of course, has been way exhausted 2 weeks ago. Make sure you come out to Wildfire app. And my goal, even though I'm going to leave Senate, is to like make sure that people are aware of sexual assault in our campus, especially in the syllabus and stuff. So that's really awesome. But yeah, just thank you so much for impacting my life and being a part of it. And yeah, the social number 3 is this Saturday, so I hope you go. And my crush is JK.
Alright, hi everyone. So actually, Benedict and I are going to do our announcement together. So, first of all, we just want to thank everyone for such an incredible year. And remind everyone that we started this year off singing at karaoke. And so we wanted to end the year with a song. And I know there's been tears shed because like it's been an incredible semester. And so we're going to sing You'll Be My Heart from the Tarzan album.
Sing along, please.
Stop your crying and we'll be alright. Just take my hand, hold it tight.
I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry.
'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. You'll be in my heart. No matter what they say. You'll be here in my heart always. Senate stops here, but then my heart doesn't. So about that, yeah, so you all will be there. Something to say in the pro community. We are tall because of the shoulders we stand on, and that's the time. So thank you all for listening.
So I don't sing. I also didn't think of anything really cute. I'm not gonna dance. So basically, I just want to say thank you all for passing this like genocide bill, recognizing the 1984 genocide. It honestly and genuinely means so much to me, and I know it meant a lot to the people who came here to speak, and also the people that couldn't be here to speak. Thanks to Maya for co-sponsoring it. That was really awesome. And yeah, thank you so much for just supporting me, for those of you who did support me in the work that my office did, and for allowing me to get to know a lot of you outside of the space as well. For any of the incoming senators next year, I just want to say, really please try to work together with the people sitting around you, because it's when we work together that real shit gets done. I learned that in a lot of different ways this past year, and I'm so happy for every single one of you that I got a chance to work with, regardless of party, regardless of what the work was. It just was really a great experience for me. Thank you.
So just to go off what Rachel alluded to earlier, is that last Friday, we met with we met with a bunch of like key leaders. I think I talked about it in my announcement that week. It was like people from all over campus, Rosemary Ray, Steve Sutton, Director of VHS, David Strong was there. And we like presented a policy, and Rachel and I and some other students on campus presented a policy to them. That's basically a big survey policy. So the gist of it is, and we're working on our meeting this week actually. The gist of it is that if you are intoxicated in any way, way like we're gonna get in trouble or like how to do conduct record, like what happened. So, and it was like cool to see the administration was like so stoked on this. Like Steve said, was like yes, and I was like, dang dude, okay. Rosemary was like, yeah, that sounds great, and it was just nice to like have that, like not that it was validation of the administration, it was nice to like have them say we're so glad that students came with this. So I just like I'm really proud of Rachel and myself. We worked really good on this. Also, this past Monday, I've been talking about conduct surveys for like a year, it feels like, but I did it internal in my chapter again, and I was reading all the answers and responses. We're going to do some pre-recruitment diversity stuff, which is really exciting. It was just like cool to kind of see how far the chapter is gone. Just like 1 year, that's like small to you all, and it's like my like very, very small community, but it means a lot to see how much more comfortable people feel just in like a year, like how much things have changed. They made me feel really bad because like I like to think that I had some part in that. Hopefully, I just wanted to share that little story because if my chapters feel uncomfortable, hopefully other chapters will feel comfortable. Hopefully, this will eventually spread not only within PHC but to IC and maybe the country. It's hard to think about. But, so there's like I was looking at it. It's hard to read because there's a lot of stuff that has to be done. You really see like where people are hurting, but it's also good to see like how far we're going to go. And that's a great segue to just me being very Christian with all of you. I mean it. I really do respect each and every single one of you. This has been again really hellish, and it's been like the times where I super wanted to quit. I'm like, we'll go home after these meetings. It was free until the room for like an hour. And so I guess shout out to my office, shout out to Mikhail, shout out to like the school, shout out to also shout out to every single one of you because you like I know they tell us like before we come in that like only 20 of us will understand what like we really go through. That's absolutely true. Like at a certain point we only have to understand kind of what this really means to like take on this position and to like take on the pressure that this has. And so I'm proud of all of us. So thank you for all you do.
So I've had 7 different people message me about asking why I didn't say thank you or anything in my announcement. So I was like, okay, it's like 7 different people, sure. So I don't really do sentimental announcements. I'm going to keep it really short. Thank you all. Emotional factor just kind of not there, but I did go back and count. So this is my 63rd Senate meeting. So I'm ready to go. But good luck to all of you. Y'all are great. Going into SLI was really exciting for me to meet all of you and be able to honestly meet you all in May, actually, when I made you sign all of those attendance forms, which was super cool. So I can meet you all one-on-one and I go through SLIs. Those were some exciting times, and we've come a long way. We've had a lot of different discussions, and I appreciate every single one of those discussions that we've had. We've had our differences of opinions, but at the same time, I mean, I guess I feel older just because I've seen the past 3 Senate classes, and I have always told you this, but this has been the Senate class that has been, 1, the most cohesive, and also 2, we've also had the fastest Senate meetings, which I really appreciate. For those of you that don't know the audience, so 3 years ago, the Senate meetings went to about 1 a.m. My year, they went always to around 11 or 12, and then this year, we have historically ended before 9 p.m. every time, except for the last 2 meetings. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it, and good luck with the rest of your lives. And without further ado, we will start with Senator-elect's roll call. Zainab, Alla, Ian, Anthony,
Jay, Bianca, Miranda, Nathan, Jenny, Rosa, Shao, Alyssa, Benjamin, Monsoon, Rigel, Annie, Wesley, Chris, Helen, Senator Morrow, Senator Dean, Senator Paul, Senator Schuster, Senator Prasad, Senator Kim, Senator Salinas. Well, you were present for the second roll call, and I play no games, y'all. Senator Lau, Senator Chug, Senator Bruce, Senator Adrianson, Senator Rashidi, Senator Cho, Senator Tran, Senator Tame, Senator Nguyen, Senator Vicente, Senator Liu,